You look in parts of the world that have really driven grain demand over the last 10 or 15 years, and much of that has been in Asia. So the primary demand driver coming out of 2020 and setting the stage for 2021, it's all about exports.
Dr. Mark Welch is our resident grain and economics expert in the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. He says after an eventful 2020, tighter corn supply and growing demand for grain brings a new opportunity for a different crop.
As the price of corn has gone up, which that's going to pull the price of grain sorghum up anyway, then with tight supplies of grain sorghum, sorghum has gone up to not only beyond just on par value with corn, but to a significant premium. And the last numbers that I was looking at on a national average basis, grain sorghum to the farmer was selling at a price that's $1 a bushel over the price of corn.
Grain sorghum, used mainly for livestock feed, is in high demand around the world, and America is equipped to export.
And if you look at world grain sorghum exports, it is the United States. We are 80% of the global export market for grain sorghum. A little bit of competition out of Australia, a little bit out of Argentina, but if you want grain sorghum, you basically come to the United States.
Welch says grain sorghum can be perfect for the Lone Star State.
Grain sorghum, agronomically and productively, is such a good fit for so much of Texas. It handles the heat, it handles the drought, it has so much resistance to many of the other problems that some of the other feed grains have. And then now to see it rewarded with a price situation that brings some profitability that we haven't seen since the surge in exports in 2014 and 2015. The incentive is there to increase the acres. It's the cooperation of the weather then of what that production level, of course, will ultimately be.
That's a look at how Central Texas agriculture impacts the entire world from the ground up.
From the Ground Up is sponsored by Producers Cooperative, proudly serving agriculture since 1943.